Well, let me give you a kind of a short synopsis of this little meeting up in Alaska with Mr. Putin and Mr. Trump. They greeted each other like old friends. One, a failed first-term president that we thought we could bring back, and he would be better the second time, which we've already found out he is not. And another one, he can't even fly over countries that have signed on to the World Court, because he could be brought down in his aircraft and arrested right there. So he had to come over from Russia, straight across the ocean and over to Alaska without going over any other countries. Okay, but he's his good buddy. Now this is a guy that has presided over the murder of untold thousands, probably millions of people in his quest to regain the Soviet Union. Trump thinks he's great. In fact, most of the time, Trump seems to take his side on stuff. Remember Helsinki, 2018? He said, well, Vladimir Putin, he says he was not interfering in our elections. Just because my intelligence says so doesn't mean nothing. Okay, seems like he always changes whatever he's going to say after he talks to Putin. And this Alaska summit was no different than any other. He always is ready to carry Putin's water. Whatever he wants, Putin just says, do this. And the next thing you know, Trump's doing whatever he says. Watch this thing. I'm going to show you this thing on these terrible consequences. We're going to have a ceasefire. Absolutely have to have a ceasefire. And there will be severe consequences. And then he talks to Putin. No severe consequences. Nothing. He says, we don't need no stinking ceasefire. Why would we have a ceasefire?
Will Russia face any consequences if Vladimir Putin does not agree to stop the war after your meeting on Friday?
Yes, they will. Yeah, there will be very severe consequences.
You warn of what you called severe consequences if a 30-day ceasefire or any type of ceasefire were not agreed to by Russia. Will there be severe consequences? Does that change because
I don't think you need a ceasefire. If you look at the 6 deals that I settled this year, they were all at war. I didn't do any ceasefires.
Now, afterwards, we don't need no stinking ceasefire. We're going to make a deal. We can't have a ceasefire while they're fighting. That's what a ceasefire is. A ceasefire to stop fighting. Yeah, well, he hasn't figured that one out yet. Not the smartest guy out there. So he's backed off of that. And as an aside, I've got to do a video on this. He's supposedly settled 6 wars in 6 months in this presidency. He did nothing of the kind. It's all just the same bull this guy always says. But that's for another time. I'll get to that one when I can get to it. Somehow in the middle of this, he was told by Vladimir that mail-in voting was terrible.
Putin, smart guy, said you can't have an honest election with mail-in voting.
Here's a guy that has never had a fair election in his life, has manipulated every election he's ever had. And he's telling Trump how we should be voting. And Trump thinks he's right. By the way, Trump voted mail-in too. And he told his people to vote mail-in. Okay. Zelensky comes over a few days later, going to meet with Trump. He brings the entire European Union with him because he doesn't want to go through that crap he went through with where Trump told him he had no cards to play and all that sort of stuff. So they were supporting him. They come through. Trump gets in the middle of this negotiation with these guys, and he says, well, you know, I'm going to have to talk to Vladimir about this. You know, he's got to get permission to speak about this and to move forward on this sort of stuff. So he spends 40 minutes or something calling Putin, and Putin gave him whatever instructions he needed. You still think this guy isn't a Russian agent? Maybe he's just a really stupid Russian agent and doesn't know he is a Russian agent. I mean, look at all this stuff that comes out here. It is so obvious. Republicans can't figure this out. I'm a dumb shit, and I can figure it out. That's it on this one.